So hey guys, Doogie here. We're going to be working on taking on Seath the Scaleless. So, if you guys would follow me. First thing I'm going to do before I go there is I have a lot of souls, and what I'm going to use those souls for is to purchase the very last sorcery. So, I have Crystal Soul Spear. So that's all of them. I have almost every sorcery in the game. Well, at least every one that's necessary for this part. If you talk to him now, some players have said like he'll start to have like agitated remarks or things like that. I haven't really noticed that yet, but maybe it's just me. It's supposed to be the signs of him going hollow before he goes hollow. So you go down here after you pull that leather and reveal, what's going on. And there we go. So kill that dude. You'll notice that I used my Firekeeper Soul from rescuing Big Hat Logan to reinforce my Estus Flask yet again. It's generally a good decision whenever you can reinforce your Estus Flask. It's good to go for it. And you'll go down here into this little, like, central garden area of the little castle that you're in. Oh my. Let's just back out of here. It's better off than trying to square off against these guys, I think. And you can go on down. Or not, because I got stuck. That was weird. Anyway. I'm here now. That's where I need to be. So you go down here. And it looks like I'll have to kill these guys after all. Oh god. And get knocked off to the side. So before we move on, this is one of the few bonfires that I absolutely, positively recommend that you kindle up to 20. It's not necessary for, like, a lot of bonfires, but this area is one that you'll probably die in quite a few times, and you'll probably, need the extra charges on your Estus Flask to actually press on. So we're just going to kindle it, and as you'll see, each time that you kindle it, the flame gets a little bit bigger. A little cool effect they decided to put in. And this right here is what it looks like when it's at 20. So when you use a flask, when you use a flask at a bonfire that's kindled that many times, you'll get 20 Estus Flasks. If you notice, the flame's actually a little bit taller than I am. So if we're fortunate, there'll actually be someone down here to summon to help us for the boss fight, since we reversed hallowing to kindle the bonfire anyway, but that's not a necessity. Seath is difficult, but he's not unduly hard. You should be able to beat him. And there's a chest right here. Make sure it's on a mimic. And 20 prism stones. These are useful in the area up ahead if you don't have a guide to show you where it's actually safe to step and where it's not. So you gotta kill these golems, and then you'll run down to the next area. Apparently, like 4 hits from the Uchigatana is enough to hit their poise. So And having those 20 Estus flasks frees you up to take more damage and use more flasks. It's not as necessary for you to save your Estus flasks when you're working with 20 instead of 10 or 5. I'm using Great Chaos Fireball because these guys seem to be resistant to magic to some extent. You can save it for the giant golem mini-boss thing on the bridge. I'm just trying to do a quick clear for you guys, so you don't have to watch as much of me fighting these boring-ass golems. I think they're boring. They're like my least favorite enemy to fight. So let's check to see if I have any resins left. No. Not right now. I could go and purchase some if I really needed them. And I might, actually, just for this area. This area is a pain for magic users, but it's also necessary for magic users, because your first playthrough of this area is where you get a lot of your powerful shit that helps you carry yourself through your second playthrough. If you choose to do a second playthrough, that is. It's also where you get a lot of the powerful stuff you need for player versus player combat, if that's something that you're interested in pursuing. And this build is suitable for player versus player. I'll probably dedicate a video at the very end towards what I would wear for player versus player and how I would treat player versus player versus the actual storyline. Essentially, I just try to stay in fast roll and do a ton of damage and be really fast. That's the gist of what my build is for player versus player. It's not something that I've thought out a shit ton or anything like that. It's just something that I am comfortable with, enjoy, and seems to be a decent build. So here's the giant golem. If I die, this time I'm going to go get some resins to enchant my weapon. And I'll show you where to get them. Oh god. Left me with like 1 health. It's crazy. I don't think I've ever had an attack bring me that low without killing me. Basically, you want to bait an attack, and then roll out of the way. The Mask of the Child would be really helpful here if you got it, because you need the stamina to be able to keep rolling around. Is he going to attack again? Looks like no. That time he did. His attack patterns are harder to read than a lot of other fights. That's one of the other issues that I have with him. And he just takes so little damage. And he finally gets staggered. Takes forever. Once I kill him, I'm going to homeward bone back to the bonfire, fill up my flasks, and I'm going to show you guys where to get resins in case you're having trouble with this fight. So there we go, he goes down, thankfully. He does not respawn, but if you're having an issue with this fight, I'm going to show you where to get resins. So, to get resins, you'll go to Firelink Shrine, and you'll go up into the little sewer tube type thing. And it's going to allow me to do this area a little bit faster. Possibly some of the future areas a little bit faster. And it lets you, if you're using an enchanted weapon build, like I am, it lets you save some of your enchants for harder fights, and not be forced to use your enchants, you know, right at the start of the fight. Because if you notice, I haven't really built up my dexterity yet. I'm waiting on that until later in the game. Most of the water effects in this game are kind of annoying. It's very obnoxiously loud. So you go to her, and charcoal pine resin. So we'll buy like, I don't know, like 20. That's more than enough. And then I'll meet you guys back at the Duke's Archives. Okay, so we're back where we killed the golem, and I'm using my, what are they called? Resins, as you can tell, because I have a big old flaming sword. So when you're playing online, if you're lucky, you can get messages that tell you, hey, stay in this general line. And if you do that, you'll generally be fine. But if not, if you're not playing online, just kind of follow my footing. This part's a little bit worse. Essentially, you go straight until you reach that little cliffside, and there you go. It looks really daunting and scary, and believe me, it is when you first do it. But it's if you just keep your cool, you should be alright. And we're almost up to Seath. We just gotta kill these giant clams. So we'll try to aggro one at a time. Oh god. Weapon broken. Oh, that's awesome. Fucking A. So, I guess I gotta go back now. Unless there's a bonfire up ahead. I don't think there is, though. Let's just run up ahead and find out. Or I can just try to take on the boss. Just try to take on the boss, whatever. Whatever happens. So hey guys, I got cursed against Seath the Scaleless, and I didn't have any curse breaks on me, so I'm going to show you guys where to go to break a curse real quick. Let's go up here. If you don't have your boulder side sword yet, you can probably kill the boulders from relative safety. What I think I might do is do the next two areas, or show you guys the next two areas as options, so that you can possibly just bypass the magic resist guys until later in the game when you actually have some dexterity built up for some physical damage. So right now I have Jack All and dexterity, and I'm sure you do too, because really intelligence is better against almost every opponent except the one guy's right there. So you climb up as though you're going to the gargoyle boss fight. And there will be a guy, I believe his name's Partner Velka, but I don't think it'll really come up. He's right here. Oh no, this is Oswald of Karam. Oh, he works for Velka. Velka's a goddess. That shows you how much I know about the game. So I'll get 2 of these, and we'll get 5 homeward bones. So I'm running low. And then what you can do is you use the purging stone, and it breaks the curse, so you're back up to whatever your maximum health is regularly, and you don't have to deal with the effects of the curse anymore. So I'm starting the Seath the Scaleless boss fight. What you need to do at the start of the fight is you need to go back here and destroy the crystal. You want around 10 humanity, and you probably want to be using the Hovel's armor set. I'm using some of these gold pine resins I have left over. You can also buy them, and I'll show you where to buy them after the fight. They add a bit more damage than a magical enchant would to Seath, because Seath's a little bit resistant to magic damage. Alright, so once you get this curse build up to start happening, it's really imperative that you get behind him, because that's where you can avoid taking further curse damage, so... But then once the curse dissipates, you want to go out from behind him, because the tail lashings do way too much physical damage for you to stay there. So we're going to go in for some more lightning damage. And then once we get the curse build up, let the curse subside a little bit. Resin up. Coming for some more damage. This fight takes patience more than anything. You're going to have to do this multiple times, as much as I hate to say it. This was probably my 4th or 5th attempt at him. It takes quite a bit of time. Overall, what you need to do is go off to the sides when your curse builds up too much. And, basically I'd recommend saving him for last, because you can then fully upgrade either your Uchi Katana or your Boulder Side Sword, like I'm using right now. And I recommend starting the fight with 10 humanity so that you can avoid further curse buildup. And other than that, the only real trick is making sure you destroy the enchanted crystal in the back before trying to kill Seath. So I'm going to show you guys after this how to kill Big Hat Logan, the hollow version of him, and get his staff and his secret sorcery he's been working on. So that's where we're going to be next.